Trying to pay off debt when your income is unpredictable is like trying to hit a moving target. Some months you're making real progress, and other months you're barely scraping by. And if you've ever thrown all your extra cash at debt only to regret it when money got tight later on, you're not alone. Today I'll show you a better way to eliminate debt even when your income is all over the place. The truth is, you need a strategy that works with fluctuating income, not against it. That's why the first step is knowing exactly how much you need to survive, not just how much you hope to earn. Most people budget based on expected income, but when your income isn't predictable, this approach can lead to major financial stress. When your income fluctuates, your biggest risk isn't just debt, it's instability. One month you're making great money, paying down debt and feeling financially strong. The next month, work slows down, bills pile up, and suddenly you're back to square one, wondering how you're going to make ends meet. Hey everyone, I'm Rose Colburn, and I'm here to help you take control of your personal finances so you can create a life you truly love. I keep financial freedom real, attainable, and BS-free because no one should feel like wealth is out of reach. If you're tired of financial advice that doesn't actually work in real life, you're in the right place. Today, I'm showing you how to create a debt payoff plan that actually works when your income isn't consistent. Freelancers, gig workers, commission-based earners, even those people with part-time jobs, you already know the struggle. If you've been trying to follow traditional debt payoff advice and it just isn't working, it's really not your fault. Here's what typically happens for those who have an income that fluctuates. You just had an amazing steady flow of opportunities. Your paycheck is higher than usual, and you think this is a great time to get ahead with your debt payments. So you throw every extra dollar at your debt. But the next paycheck, there's not as many opportunities. Work slows down, and now you're struggling to cover rent, bills, food, whatever else is essential. So what do? Well, you either dip into your savings, if you have any, or worse, you rack up more debt. I mean, it can't hurt, right? You just paid off a bunch of debt with your last paycheck. This is the cycle that keeps so many people stuck. Not just in debt, but in financial stress. It's not just about how much you owe, it's about having a strategy that works for both your high and low income months, so that when your income drops, you're not forced to rely on credit cards just to survive. Knowing exactly how much you need to survive enables you to cover the essentials, no matter what happens with your income. And that's where your baseline budget comes in. Your baseline budget is the absolute minimum amount that you need to cover for essential expenses. It's your survival number. Your essentials are the bare minimums you need to keep your life running, like rent or mortgage, utilities, food, transportation, minimum debt payments, insurance, prescriptions. For example, a gym membership might be an unnecessary expense for someone living, say, in an apartment. But for a van lifer, it could be essential for showers and personal care. So ask yourself, if I had a really bad income month, what could I cut without jeopardizing my well-being? The goal isn't to stay in survival mode forever. It's to know exactly how much you need so that when a low income month happens, you don't panic or fall back into debt. Now that you know your baseline budget, the next step is to structure your finances to work with your income cycles, not against them. Most financial advice assumes a steady paycheck, but when your income fluctuates, your financial plan needs to adapt to the money you have to work with. And that's where the high-low income plan comes in. Instead of reacting to each month as it comes, you'll plan ahead for both high and low months. And you do this by creating a freedom fund. A freedom fund is what most people think of as emergency savings. When you're living with income that fluctuates month to month or even paycheck to paycheck, the freedom fund will be your buffer to help smooth out your cash flow when your income is low. Instead of throwing extra money at debt when you have a good month, it's important to stabilize your cash flow first so that when slow months happen, you're not forced to rely on credit cards or loans just to survive. And that's why setting up a freedom fund is extremely important. So how much should you save? Well, honestly, there's no one-size-fits-all magic number that will work for everyone. Every person's financial situation is different. You might need to keep at least 3 months worth of expenses saved, while another person can't get by without 6. So look at your income and ask yourself, how often does it fluctuate in a drastic way? Not just by 100 to 200 bucks, but in a way that keeps you from being able to meet your baseline budget. If you have highly variable income, you might decide you need 2 to 3 months worth of expenses just saved up so you can get by. If you're really not sure where to start, then just set a goal to start with at least 1 month's worth of essential expenses to cover your baseline budget. Now, don't stress about building this up all at once. The best strategy is just to get started, no matter what you can start with, and then to continue building it up as you're able. When you have a low income month, try to get by without dipping into this buffer unless it's absolutely essential. The simple shift gives you financial breathing room so you never have to panic when money slows down. Once your freedom fund is solid, you can finally start focusing on an aggressive debt payoff strategy without the risk of falling back into the debt cycle. So, how do you approach debt payoff without putting yourself in a financial bind? That's where prioritization comes in. So let's talk about that next. Traditional debt payoff methods, like the snowball or avalanche method, assume a fixed monthly payment. But with inconsistent income, this often leads to frustration or missed payments. The key is strategic debt prioritization. Instead of a rigid payment plan, you'll structure your extra debt payments in tiers so you know exactly where to put your money in high income months versus your low months. And the first step is to set a minimum and maximum that you'll put toward your debt payoff. So the minimum amount is basically the minimum payment required by the debts that you have. And this is non-negotiable. It should always be included in your baseline budget no matter what. And that includes even during low income months. And this keeps you current on all your debts and protects your credit score. Your maximum debt payment is what you aim for in high income months without completely draining your cash flow. Now let's talk about your income. Your income will typically fall into one of 3 categories. And the first is your low income month, and this is where your focus is on stability. When money is tight, your only goal is to stay stable, and this means covering your baseline budget. No extra payments, no overcommitting, just focus on getting through the month without adding more debt. This is not the time to stress about throwing extra money at your debt balances. It's about keeping things steady until your income picks up again. Next is your average income month. This is where you start making small moves toward financial progress. You still cover your baseline budget, but if there's anything left over, you can put a little extra toward your debt, even if it's just 25 to 50 bucks. Review what you set for your maximum debt payment and use that as a guide to determine what is reasonable for you to pay at this time. Add a little extra to your freedom fund so that you have a buffer for when things get tight again. It's not about making massive leaps. It's about staying consistent because even small steps will add up over time. And the third is your high income months, where you're able to take advantage of your extra income. When you have a great month, a big freelance check, extra commissions, or seasonal income, or just an increase in your hours, this is where you maximize your money moves. First, cover your baseline budget like always. Then take advantage of the extra income and split it wisely. Add to your freedom fund or your purposeful savings so you have a safety net for the future. And I cover each of these accounts in more detail in another video, and I'll link to it here and in the comments. Put as much as you can toward your debt payments, up to your maximum planned extra payment that you set. This way, instead of spending it all and wondering where it went, you're using your high income months to accelerate your financial progress without stressing yourself out during the slow months. And if there happens to be anything left over, consider putting a portion of it into investments, increasing your freedom fund, or contributing to your purposeful savings. This system ensures that you're always making progress, even when your income is unpredictable. When you have a great month, don't just throw everything at debt. Prioritize stability first. Cover your essentials, maintain your freedom fund, and then attack debt. This approach ensures you don't overcommit to debt payoffs in good months, only to struggle when things slow down. This is the kind of strategy that actually works in real life because it's flexible enough to fix your income patterns while still keeping you on track towards financial freedom. It's about doing it in a way that keeps you financially stable during the entire time. And if you want to learn more about the various savings account, watch this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.